Hi everybody, I'm Stephanie Weeks, 16-year veteran loan officer and top 1% in the nation for several years running now. If you want information on how to get approved for your first home, you've definitely come to the right place. I hope you enjoy the video and I'll try to make it as educational as possible. So I am a loan officer and of course I'd love to help you if you need help with your financing, but I'm only in certain states and I can't help everyone. But the way that I can help everyone is to help educate you all so that you do get the best deal, you do understand what to do, how to do it, and set the best expectations for yourself with your first home purchase. So let's dive right in. The first thing is you want to make sure that you know what your goals are. So you might not have thought about this yet, but I want you to think about it, okay? So number one, have you thought about what the price of the home and how much you might want to spend on a home? Like you might say 100,000, 200,000, 400,000. Who knows what it is for you? But you want to just, take away all the other thoughts and just go, man, how much do I want to spend on a home? Okay, so you start narrowing that down. Like as an example, you might know that you would love to be in a certain subdivision, and in that subdivision, homes are running between 200 and 300, whatever that number might be, right? Well, that's a great place to start. That is part one of your tripod, basically. Part two of your tripod is, what do you want your monthly payment to be? So you may or may not have thought about this as well. If you're renting, that gives you a good baseline. Do you want to stay at that payment? Do you want to increase that payment? Can you increase that payment a lot? Can you increase that payment a little? What applies here for you? And there's no real rule of thumb about that. Just because you pay $800 in rent doesn't mean you should only buy a house with a payment of $900. I mean, it's all case by case by case, right? So just try to figure out, what do you want your monthly payment to be for your budget, okay? You're gonna write that down. Then the third part of your tripod is, how much money do you want to come up with to purchase a home? So again, I want you to get rid of all the thoughts in your mind and just come up with a number, because I don't know yet and you don't know yet. Is that down payment? Is it closing costs? Is it prepaid items? I don't know, and I don't want you to label it yet. Just want you to figure out, how much can I part with? Some people say it's $1,000 and some people have $100,000 and everything in between that you can think of. So what is your number? Let's say that you have $3,000 in your savings account, okay? You don't want to liquidate your $3,000 in that example. So maybe you want to part with $1,000. That way you still have $2,000 left in savings. So then we would know sales price goal, monthly payment goal, and cash out of pocket goal. When you have those three things, that's going to help you tremendously to try to figure out where to go next, right, to get your first home. If you speak with a loan officer and they haven't even asked you those three questions, make sure that you give them that information, because that's going to really help figure out and get you approved for what it is that you want, okay? Now, when it comes to credit, every single program has different requirements. You always want to do everything you can to have excellent credit. Not everybody has excellent credit, but you want to do all that you can to have excellent credit. Always pay your bills on time. Never, ever pay them late. Keep your credit card balances about 30% in relation to the limit. So if you have $1,000 limit credit card, then never at any given moment do I want you to owe more than $300, okay? And so we want to make sure that you have good credit, because the better credit that you have, the more opportunities you have for better loans, better rates, and so on and so forth. Is this helping so far? I really hope so. Leave me some comments below because I'd love to hear what you have to say. If you're enjoying the video, please be sure to hit the like button, and I would love and appreciate if you could also subscribe to the channel. So you want to start with whoever you are comfortable with to be your loan officer. You might know a loan officer. You might ask friends or family for recommendations. You might want to call your bank. You might want to call your credit union. Everybody's different, right? Ultimately, you need to go with what makes you comfortable. This is a very, very big purchase. If you're buying in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Arkansas, or Florida, I would be happy to be your loan officer, and you can reach out to my office at the Weeks team, and that's weeksteam.com, 985-300-LOAN, 985-300-LOAN. The great news is there are tons of loan officers. There's over 300,000 in the US. So there's a lot of good loan officers out there. So just make sure you choose someone who makes you really comfortable. Follow up with recommendations. Like I said, you've got to start with your 3 goals, because that is going to help you figure out with your loan officer, because you're a team. You guys are going to be a team. That's going to help you to figure out what you should do. I'm going to give you an example before I let you go for today, okay? So I worked on a pre-approval this afternoon for a customer, and she told me, I want $2,000 or less out of pocket. I want a monthly payment between $1,300 and $1,400, and I want to spend around $225. Now, what was perfect about that is that actually I had an offer and an opportunity for her, and it hit all 3 of those goals, which is fantastic. The point in me telling you this is I also let her know that the $225 price we were talking about was not her limit from the lending perspective. That was not the limit on how high she could be approved. That pre-approval was set based on her particular goals. And here's why that's important. If I would have told her she could approve for a $300,000 home and sent her shopping, like it happens a lot, by the way. $300,000 home, send her shopping, she gets under contract, she's spending money on title, appraisals, inspections, you name it, right? Having a heart set. Then once some time goes by and all the numbers start to come in, and she realized she needs 10 grand out of pocket, and maybe the payment was 1,800. I don't know, I'm making these numbers up at the moment, but 1,800 when she wanted it to be 13 to 14. Who does that help? No one, because you have wasted a seller's time. You've wasted your time. You've wasted your real estate agent's time. You've wasted money on appraisals, inspections, and all this stuff. And it could have really been saved or salvaged, or that headache could have been completely avoided by just communicating really clearly with your loan officer and making sure that you know your goals and you're communicating your goals. I hope this has helped you. I hope you have a fabulous day, evening, night, whatever applies to you. And I hope that I see you in the next one. Thank you so much.